If you're enjoying the show, please remember to like and subscribe. Now, it's time for some Unwanted Opinions.
Encounter.
I've got another feeling.
It feels very
Hello and welcome to the Unwanted Opinion podcast, the show in which me and my friends give our unwanted opinion on all things film. My name is Lewis and I'm joined today with Kyle.
Hello.
Hello, and Gonzalo.
Hey, how we doing?
Hey, doing alright, mate. Doing alright. And the date is the 17th of January 2024, 6 o'clock UK time, and I just want to ask Gonzalo a question.
Yes.
Since our Oscar nominations episode is out next week, so spoilers to what we're doing next week. Gonzalo, have you watched Oppenheimer?
No, I haven't watched
Okay,
Let's go.
well, you've got a week to do it.
I forgot.
You've
this
got a
was
week to do it.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, well, you forgot you had a responsibility to
Oh, it's
the
in
people,
streaming now. So.
the audience.
Is
Wait,
it?
well, it's on streaming. I thought you had to buy it or rent
Yeah,
it.
well, yeah, you can rent it, so that's what I'll do.
Yeah, it's.
That's not
No
streaming,
one said
but
it's never ever going to be
classifications.
available on streaming.
Actually, I think it's coming to Peacock.
He said,
Oh, really?
I did not see a thing. It was like February something. It's like Oppenheimer's coming to Peacock.
Oh, wow.
I think. Oh, I thought Nolan was
Peacock
like,
still
I never want
exists.
this film to be on streaming.
Yeah,
Like-
but then like contracts
like, you
and
don't
money
have to pay
come out
money.
of the way, so
I don't know.
It's not like
if you want to keep Nolan happy, give him whatever he wants.
It's not like streaming makes that much money because there's no royalties in streaming, so you know. Like
No,
it's
exactly,
It's a
exactly.
flat fee.
I don't know. I can't remember his reasoning for it.
Yeah.
He didn't want it to be like on Netflix or whatever.
Mm.
Anyway,
Yes.
anyway, what we're doing on this week's episode, because of course we did our best and worst
sorry,
list in
February
the last
16th,
couple of
It
weeks.
is coming out. Peacock.
Oh, interesting.
Oh
So
shit! I'm surprised.
You,
I'm really surprised.
Lewis, are a liar. And
Wow.
Christopher Nolan is a
Well, I didn't.
sellout.
I
So
The
that's
lies
what we've
of
got.
Lewis,
That's
he didn't
what
want
we
it.
got this.
the lies of me. Anyway, sorry. Because we did our best and worst episodes of the last couple of weeks of 2023, it's time to look forward into 2024. You know, look at films that we're really excited to see. So on this week's episode, we're of course talking about our most anticipated films of 2024. We've got a couple each, and then we're going to branch off and talk about some more the things we might expect to be good or bad, or things we're kind of mixed or whatever on. But yeah, that will be today's episode. So start marking your calendars for these special
do we
films.
Need to, do we need to tell the release dates?
Gonzalo.
Because I don't have those.
Oh, I have some release dates set, yeah.
That's what got that. What's the Spanish release dates? Oh yeah, this releases in Spain in
Oh.
2025.
Oh, actually, I took the release dates from Google, so we might have the
Oh
Spanish
right,
release
okay.
dates,
Well,
actually.
well, me and Kyle will be here
yeah,
to
you'll
correct
confirm.
you. Hopefully.
Yeah. But yeah.
Anyway, Gonzalo,
Oh,
I'm going
man.
to start with you.
Well,
what is your
Yeah.
number one film you're looking forward to
So,
for 2024?
before I talk about my number one film, which I know both of you are also excited about, I would like to say that this is a weird episode for me because I'm still catching up to the films that were released in 2023.
Due
I'm
to
still
the
good
Spanish
thing,
release
good thing Nothing Great
calendar.
comes out in January.
Yeah, I'm still catching up. But if we're talking about films that I've been hyped for a while, a film that I've been looking forward to for a long time now, Dune Part 2 releases on March 15th, at least, as Google said. Is that correct?
Well,
Lewis?
March 1st for us. March 1st for
you
us.
March 1st, yeah. Meant to be
God
November
damn,
2023. Just remember what was taken from us.
Yes. That's what happened. It got delayed with the writing, no, not the writer strikes, but the
Actor strikes. Yeah, because they
actor
weren't going to be
strikes,
able to market it.
Yeah, obviously they couldn't work, they couldn't market it. Yeah, but yeah. So Doom Part 2, absolutely loved the shit out of Doom Part 1. And I am really excited for the second part. You guys know that Denis Villeneuve is a fantastic director, and I've basically loved everything I've watched from him since I started watching his films. And yeah, Dune was amazing. It was like overwhelmingly sensory kind of experience. It really is a different type of sci-fi, which fits very well with how weird the actual books are and the lore of the universe and the story itself. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how they end the film. and whether it keeps going forward, whether they leave it open for more sequels, and whether they do it in like a tactful way, or if it ends on another cliffhanger. But yeah, I'm really excited, honestly. I just want to revisit the world of Arrakis. I just really, absolutely loved the way the first part of the film was shot. And I was one of those few people who didn't notice that it said Part 1 under the title when he went into the cinema. So,
You
yeah.
don't know,
Like a fool.
Gonzalo,
Yeah.
You did not know the sigh of relief I heard from my father when he saw the words Part 1. He was like,
Oh
we're
my
not
gosh.
getting a David Lynch issue here. Thank
Ah,
God. He was quite
yeah.
relieved.
No, I'm glad they divvied
Well,
it
if you-
up. I'm just annoyed that the Part 1 was so tiny because...
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys? I know Kyle's definitely read the book. Have you, Gonzalo? Have you read the story of the first book?
See, I haven't finished the book because I got gifted it when I was a teenager, and I went through it, and then there was that period when I stopped reading. So I'm halfway through the book. I've never finished the first book, so I left off a bit later than the movie does. But still, like the ending bit, I have no idea what happens aside from having watched the old movie and stuff.
Have you seen the 80s one?
Yeah, I have seen the 80s
Yeah.
one,
Oh, right. Okay, you've seen it. I mean,
So
it'd be interesting
I know
to
what
do.
the overall ending is. I'm just curious to see how they
I
execute
I know
it
you were
and the specifics
suggesting
of it
you were
and
talking
stuff.
about sequels there. I mean, Denis Villeneuve has discussed that he wants to do Messiah, which is the second novel.
Yeah.
And that would be the end to his trilogy. And the fear I have of God is that the books are a trilogy of the main kind of story. It goes Dune, Messiah, and then Children of Dune. So I'm kind of like...
And then, of course, things get weird after that.
Book 4 is when
everything
shit
gets weird.
fucking mental.
Book
Which
3
is
as
at
well,
that
but
point they're gonna go, we're not putting money into this. But I am kind of worried that
I
he will
would kill
do,
to see the Worm Man though. I really want to see a
hold
live
off.
action Worm Man.
But I would love to see if he. I'm a bit kind of worried if he does 3 films and it's just Dune and Messiah, and then stops and doesn't actually do Children. A part of me is a bit worried that he's gonna jump and try and do more and then jump off after a certain point. But no, Dune Part 2 is really hype.
No, that's the thing for me. If it ends in a satisfying enough way, even if he ends up not picking up for Messiah or some other director does and they do a terrible job or whatever, like we'll always have Dune. So I'm really looking. I'm really looking forward to this Part 2 working.
Yeah, I mean, another main aspect I'm really looking forward to is Christopher Walken as the Emperor.
Yeah,
Really
that's
fascinating
great.
to see what his
Yeah,
performance
that's
will
gonna be
bring.
good.
Same with Florence Pugh and Austin Butler as
true.
Feud Rotha. Really interesting because he's a brilliant character in the novel as well. And the one thing I've said about the Dune book is that it's like 800 pages long, right? And when I got to the end of it. Yeah, Kyle knows the complaint I'm going to bring. Just to say, it's like Frank Herbert was like, right, I can't be bothered anymore. And this happens, the end, bye-bye. And I was like, what? It ends so quickly.
I've heard
and
that.
I really hope the film takes its time with its ending because it's so sudden. It just kind of quickly happens. Paul does this whole thing, and then it's
a friend of mine. Mine joked that he
funny.
used so many words to describe sand that he ran out of words by the end and had to just wrap things up.
That's quite good.
But yeah, I hope they do that. Anyway, Kyle, let's move on to you. What is one of your picks today?
Oh yeah, I have quite a few. An honourable mention I want to say is Deadpool 3. Purely because I am quite excited for a proper Logan Wade Wilson collab. Not I'm not talking Wolverine Origins collab. I'm talking full on. And I'm kind of excited to see what they do. I know the Deadpool films have been kind of hit or miss, but I do love Ryan Reynolds' portrayal as Deadpool, and that's what kind of keeps bringing me back. And the fact that we're getting this really kind of multiversey, but kind of a piss take multiverse from what we've maybe seen behind set photos. That's what I really.
I'm really apprehensive towards Deadpool 3. I mean, Deadpool 1. I think I'm not really a big Deadpool guy. I don't really. Ryan Reynolds' humor has never been really anything hilarious to me. And Deadpool 2, I really, really just didn't get on with at all. I just didn't find it that funny. And look, I mean, look, the Logan thing. I know that every sort of Fox film and every whatever is all kind of canon in this multiverse.
Every film's its own continuity at some point.
Nah, Logan is
and all
good
that,
and it's on its own and nobody can touch it. It's fine.
Yeah, I know, and but Logan really meant more than that to me. And look, I know it's like 7 years old now and whatever, but
still great.
That really did feel like the end.
It could be a
Hugh
time
Jackman.
thing, but who knows? But apart from that,
it's not even that. It's more just about seeing Hugh Jackman again.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I know people are like really excited about, but for me, it's just like. I'm just kind of disappointed.
Well, the man's got
I'm
to
like,
pay alimony
you said this
now,
was the end.
so
Oh yes, it's true.
I'm
sure Hugh Jackman's very poor.
Oh, you don't know what he does. You don't know what he does outside of filming.
And I really, and all I can really hope for it is with the Hugh Jackman thing is that this is it again, you know, like they're not going to bring him into some sort of fucking Avengers thing.
I
can't be arsed with, you know.
At this point, I am very much over superhero movies. I'm very worn out, and I don't really care. I guess I might watch it just because even the second one, which is not a good movie, I did have fun with. It was a fun watch for me, and seeing, you know, Hugh Jackman in the iconic costume that for some reason took them so fucking long to put him in might be good. I don't know. I'm really like I don't overly dislike the fact that it's happening, and I'm not overly excited either. It's like I'm just like I guess it's a thing. I don't know, you know.
But anyway, that was a honourable sort of mention. My first one is going to be...
I might bring that up again at the end when I ask you guys a question.
Okay.
Interesting.
My first major kind of film I'm anticipated for is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
This film is a continuation from the Rise trilogy. What we had, Rise, Dawn and War. And this film is set 300 years after War from the Planet of the Apes. It's completely not not connected.
So not the same characters at all and stuff. Like we're following different apes. Interesting. Nice.
Like this character doesn't even know of the main character from the last film. Like, you know, time's passed so much. It's like 300 years. Apparently, it's meant to be the start of a new trilogy. As I
understand it, the first three films are kind of following the story of this main ape,
Caesar,
and from
Caesar,
the downfall of the human race.
Okay,
and the kind of downfall and the kind of trying the survival. We're getting this kind of fully populated ape world, which I'm really kind of excited about, because the first kind of few films it was very like scattered, but now it looks like they're going to have kind of like kingdoms, if you want, and kind of proper settlements. And I'm genuinely really excited because I rewatched those films a couple of months ago, just at the end of 2023, and I was like, fuck, God, see when you have a funny story and you really put the full dedication in, because I've seen the original Planet of the Apes, and those things get fucking mental. Like,
they do.
Fucking
like, you don't even have to wait for like the third or the fourth movie. Like the second one is
the second one, the second one's really gets bonkers.
It already
and, like,
hits the wall.
You know, these are really like, I feel like these films, the Rise films, is like going from Adam West's Batman to Michael Keaton's. That kind of like jump in actual like ability to like get like a darker story and, you know, intense characters. I've always
been interested in them, because I remember there was a mixed reception to Rise, and then the second movie in the trilogy is what brought a lot of people in with like
it's the best one, I think. I think Dawn's the best.
I'm gonna have to revisit and not revisit, but actually visit this trilogy.
I mean, like Dawn and War feel like two completely different movies than Rise, because Rise is really like set up for it.
I do like you, Kyle. I'm a big fan of that trilogy. Matt Reeves did an excellent job on those three films. And the problem with that, with the Kingdom, although I thought the trailer looked good, to be fair, Wes Ball is no Matt Reeves as a director.
That's true.
Wes Ball most famously did the Maze Runner trilogy. The writing staff as well is interesting. You have an Emmy-nominated writer in Patrick Asen doing it, but also you have Josh Friedman writing the script as well, who also helped pen Avatar: The Way of Water, which is a terrible script. So I do have some hesitations towards Kingdom. I actually don't know who Rick Jaffa is. I don't know who the third writer is on this project.
I've got faith. It's got apes. Let's go for it.
It's one that I really, really want to be good because I love the whole apes universe. I actually really hope one day we get a successful trilogy in this one again, and then we do another way, and then boom, we get a remake of the original Planet of the Apes as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it would be interesting if these movies are successful and you get a trilogy of like the growing ape world. Then you can hit after that trilogy with spaceship comes down all of a sudden, and then you get a recreation of the original Planet of the Apes.
We get, in this trilogy, you get like a wee teaser for somebody making an atomic bomb underneath the ground. Like, I wonder where this
what that's set up for. Yeah.
Spoilers for
honestly, it is one of those things where I'm like, I do respect the fact that they left a very big gap in time, because it gives the opportunity to, like, for fans of the original, like, of the not original trilogy but the previous trilogy,
the prequel,
if this movie is bad, it's fine. They can just scratch it. It doesn't need to exist.
Maybe that's what they're doing. Obviously, the new director and everything, they're going for maybe a different style, because this is maybe more when the world's flourishing. Where obviously the prequel trilogy is very much that they are scavengers. They're trying to survive. They're like the early settlers sort of thing.
I actually do find it surprising Disney greenlit this, considering the box office results of War of the Planet of the Apes, because Dawn did very well, Rise did decently, but the War did disappointed.
I have a theory about that, by the way. I think they just really needed to, like, they had a whole section of animators that did The Lion King, and they needed to put them to work on something, and they were like, hey,
I just think they don't know what they're doing. But anyway,
I will say I did just check who Rick Jaffa was. He did write the screenplay for Rise of the Planet of the Apes back in 2011. But then proceeded to write Mulan and Avatar: The Way of Water as well.
So
interesting.
I'm not that hopeful. Do you guys think this is another attempt from Disney to create another kind of like world style franchise? Like they're gonna go like a Game of Thrones with apes, kind of like how they did with Avatar, where it's like, let's develop
I
really
world, cannot predict how a film like this would
to
do.
try to create
I don't know box office wise. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if the audience is going to be how excited they are for something like this. I'm
excited.
I really don't know.
I mean,
Kyle's excited.
That's all that matters.
I'm curious.
The first Avatar made a lot of money, but nobody fucking gave a fuck about the lore of Pandora. So you never know with these things. You know?
I don't know. Right, okay, well, I guess I'm going to keep on the blockbusters then, if that's what we're starting with here. I am of course, look, I'm going George Miller's Furiosa Mad Max prequel.
Yes.
I like how in the poster they put a Mad Max saga, just in case you forgot who Furiosa was.
Production companies really need to fucking stop doing that. It annoyed me with Glass Onion, and it's really annoying here as well. Like look at the poster. We know what it's about.
Who else is going to have this sort of environment?
Based on a true story.
Exactly. Based on a true story. Furiosa, right, okay, because obviously Mad Max came out, 9 years ago now, Fury Road, Jesus Christ.
That movie is
I still remember
still
seeing
fantastic.
That was
insane. Loved it so much.
And that film did, like, okay, like, the box office was, like, like, on the edge of, like, being like profitable and like just breaking even, and then ever since then, Warner Brothers and George Miller have been this back and forth about will we do a Mad Max sequel? If you do, you may have to make it with a little less money. And George Miller's like, no. And then it's just been this constant 9-year delay for what they're going to do with the Mad Max property. Because
let's be honest,
critical and audience reception of Mad Max Fury Road was insane.
That was the thing that sold.
I think over time, I think over time it's now it was like a multi-Oscar winning film, like a frenetic, bonkers action film that was nominated for Best Picture. Like beautifully directed, beautifully shot, and it just over time more and more people watched it when it came to things like streaming and whatnot. And it just gained this huge popularity.
For me, it represents the idea, like with filmmaking and stuff, you have like a separation of like the prestige films, the Oscar films, and then like the fiction or the action films and all the fantasy films and stuff. And this represented like we could do fantasy and action and like testosterone film, but we can actually make it good. Like not just like a absolutely. Decent MCU film, but like a fucking like a good fucking movie. And But what
I find interesting
so much money, though.
about the existence of this prequel is that it is a prequel.
I
always considered
thought it would be a sequel.
Would be for Warner Brothers to just do a sequel. I mean, maybe with Furiosa, with Charlize Theron, or just Tom Hardy.
They were talking, they were talking about Furiosa for a while, like doing a spin-off with Furiosa. But I always assumed it would be a sequel. It does make sense to make it a prequel, though, given that Fury Road is very much like, let's be honest, her story. And it is a culmination of her story. Like she gets a culmination to her character at the end of that story. So I kind of understand.
The Mad Max is just
he's just there.
Shows up and,
let's be honest, he's just there
and helps. But because obviously the Mad Max films have always been like anthology pieces. You don't need to really watch the last one to understand what's going on in this one. It's Mad Max going to another land and getting into all sorts of trouble and whatnot. And so I kind of assumed they just would make Mad Max 5, which is. I'm surprised George Miller has gone in this direction. And look, George Miller has had the most bonkers directorial career of anyone working today. Happy Feet, Mad Max, Babe, picking this. Like, what? Who is this man? Who is this strange man?
Weirdly
of course,
enough,
his last film, 3,000 Years of Longing, was not anything great.
Wasn't anything special.
No, that was quite dull actually, which was very surprising from a director like this. But now he's back to what he knows best. I'm just really pumped to see some brilliant action from George Miller, who knows how to do it. I mean, it's good. It's up there with most, and because Mission Impossible 8 is being delayed an entire year. This is my action film of the year that I'm most looking forward to, for sure.
Emotional heartbreak.
I'm divided because I was looking forward to it, but I really did not like the trailer, and it might just be that it's just not a good trailer, but.
Gonzalo, if we were to
I'm
judge
still going to watch
trailers, Lewis would have hated Dungeons and Dragons.
True. That was
true. And he saw it.
We should do an episode on the most like difference between a trailer and the final film, because there's so many examples of a great trailer and an awful film, and a disgustingly bad trailer and a great film.
I feel I need to rewatch Fury Road, because I'm pretty sure I saw it in 2015, and I didn't think I didn't even see it in cinemas. I think I saw it at a house party, and it was on the TV.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off. Till like the week before and hope that it gets.
I will say,
like IMAX or something.
True. I will say the sound design in this movie for me is a highlight. So like, if you can watch it with like headphones on, do it. It's so good. It's
when
good.
That's March. That's May 24th, isn't it?
Yeah.
May 24th, 2024 is the release date for Furiosa.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was originally 24th of May, but it's now the 10th. Because it was smart, and it was like, I'm not fighting against Furiosa and a ginger cat of Garfield, by the way. Just to be specific, there's not a ginger cat in Furiosa. Well, there might be.
No. I'd be curious to see how much this costs, if Warner Bros. Can make money off this. But, anyway, Gonzalo, what is your next pick?
Well, let me take out my list because I completely forgot. So just to do some honorable mentions, because I'm hoping they come out this year, but they probably won't. There's a third Knives Out movie that's
not in production.
Been in production.
We've discussed
this. I know. There's rumors that it might come at the end of the year. I doubt it, but I don't
think you know how much it takes to actually make a film.
I know it takes like over a year. I'm just saying,
the editing, the market. He's not even thought about the marketing.
Maybe it's in one room. I don't know. Anyways, then there's Beyond the Spider-Verse, which has also been delayed and also probably not coming out this year. I'm just saying, ones that I'm hopeful.
Films are just not coming out in 2024.
I know. That's my honorable mentions. That's why they're honorable mentions, because I'm pretty sure they're not coming out this year.
Your honorable mentions aren't films.
Their dates haven't been announced, so
it's
we
like,
don't know
my honorable
for
mentions
sure.
Superman Legacy. I know it's 2025, but it's an honorable mention. That's what you're doing.
Their dates haven't been confirmed, so there's still a possibility it comes out in December. We don't know. But yeah, I'm actually quite excited for the Kung Fu Panda 4 movie. Not gonna lie, I haven't
that is a 2024 one, so I will give you that one.
Yeah, that is a 24 one. I'm actually a little bit excited for that one, because I really do like the Kung Fu Panda trilogy. I think it's one of those trilogies that DreamWorks has where like all three work really well. Still haven't seen the third, How to Train Your Dragon. I really didn't like the second.
They started filming it today. I saw the third one in cinemas. It was actually quite fun. But they've started filming the live action one yesterday, I think.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Why do we keep doing this to ourselves? Anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna. I mean. Okay, so I'm hopeful about Borderlands, but it's probably going to be shit given the cast and the directors and everything. I'm sad about that, because I really like the Borderlands franchise. I think it's something that would translate fabulously into like an action comedy movie.
It gives me Mad Max vibes at times, especially that first Borderlands game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's 100% like inspired by Mad Max, and like it's a sci-fi Mad Max, and I think that would have been really cool. It has like that kind of like Star Wars-y, like bounty hunter kind of vibe. It could have been a great movie. I doubt it'll be a great movie, but I guess fingers crossed. Maybe, I mean,
it's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it.
There's a 10% chance it might be decent. I don't know. And then what I'm going to talk about is Lisa Frankenstein. That's coming out next month. Actually, it looks pretty fun. Don't know much about the movie except haven't seen the trailer recently. It's one of those few where I'm like, I'm actually going to go make the effort to go see this in cinemas. This seems fun. It's like an 80s kind of horror comedy kind of thing.
She brings back her crush from the dead.
Yes.
Which is the whole idea of it being a Frankenstein-esque story.
Yes. And it's like a Frankenstein-esque story, but with like neon light, like 80s vibes and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. It's giving me like a little bit of like the whole kind of like nostalgia mixture that you get in things like Stranger Things and stuff, where you pluck from a bunch of like 80s and 90s movies kind of thing.
Well, I don't know if you mentioned this, but the director is Zelda Williams, Robin Williams' daughter.
Yes.
The late Robin Williams.
Yeah.
So this is her. I think this is her directorial debut.
Is it her debut?
I'm pretty sure I read it. It might be a live action.
It might be. I wouldn't be surprised if she's, because I know she's worked in films before, but I don't know if she's directed films before.
I think she's done like web series or something like that.
Okay, so it might be her directorial debut then.
Yeah, I think this is like her feature film directorial debut sort of thing.
Well, there you go. If she's good, she's gonna be great. So
Right, stop teasing us, Gonthal. Tell us. What
I think that was it. Was it not Lisa?
That was. I mean, the most anticipated is Dune. That was it. Yeah. No, the most anticipated one is Dune Part 2 by far. Like,
of course.
That's the one that I've been looking forward to since I finished watching Dune Part 1. Like, I got out of the cinema and I was like, okay, time to wait for Part 2, and I've been doing that ever since.
I'm surprised. I thought it was last week you watched the first Dune.
It's only came out in Spain last
surprising
week,
one.
Lewis.
Yeah, it came out a couple of minutes ago. I just came back from watching it. But yeah, what
then, Kyle.
What's Kyle's most anticipated movie of the year?
I don't know. There's so many that like. Dune Part 2 is probably the one that's like jumps out at me that if I had to choose one film to see this year, for me it would be Dune Part 2.
Definitely.
There's a lot of films I am interested in. We were just talking before the show. I was quite interested in Mickey 17 because I do love a Robert Pattinson space film.
Yeah.
Saying that, no, I hated High on Life or whatever it was.
You didn't
really hate High on Life. Yeah. I remember the review.
That film. I don't know, right? So this is a weird one. This is only because I recently finished the Monarch TV show. Is I kind of want to see that Godzilla and Kong to see if they actually tie anything, because the TV series, that's a sleeper show, mate. That was fucking class. Like that was really well done. How they handled characters. I thought the Russells, Wyatt and Kurt, they did a great job playing the same character. A part of me now is like a wee bit like, fuck, I kind of want to see if because Gordon
they
Below
bring the characters to the film.
Well, there's no actual human characters in this monster film that I'm intrigued in. Sure, it took them 10 episodes, an hour each to do it, while like Godzilla Minus One was able to do it all in less than 2 hours. Like, fucking load me on that. But Americans, man, it takes them a while.
They really don't know how to do big monster movies, do they?
Yeah, I'm gonna list off a few. Right, disclaimer: all the Spider-Man Sonyverse films, 10 out of 10s. I'm just saying it right now. I'm calling it. Kraven the Hunter is gonna be a 10 out of 10 no matter what.
Oh my god! Lion Blood, baby, Lion Blood.
There's a bunch of sequels I'm intrigued for this year, and I'm gonna list them off. If that's alright, just to do quickly.
That's fine.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3. That's the only time I've actually seen people clap.
You can see that, girl.
Me and Oren are going to be there. It's the first time I've ever seen people clap in a theatre for the after credit scene.
Oh wow!
Gladiator 2. That's obviously happening this year.
Yeah, that's happening.
I mean, look.
Yeah. Got Ridley. Let's maybe do a good one this year.
I wanted to talk briefly about Gladiator 2 as well, because look, I always give Ridley Scott the benefit of the doubt, and when I do that, I end up getting hurt.
Yeah, why do we do that?
Gladiator 2's
I want to ask, why do we do that? Why do we always give him the benefit of the doubt?
Because he made Blade Runner, man, and he made Alien.
I know,
right?
but then he
made Gladiator.
But then he keeps punching us in the face every time we go see one of his new films, you know?
Look, we already did a whole Ridley Scott episode, right? You want to go back and listen to our thoughts on some of his best and worst films.
I'll move on.
But look, Gladiator 2, I'll quickly say, I'm still excited to see Gladiator 2. This is like a toxic relationship I have with this 80-something-year-old man. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I'm excited because it's Paul Mescal, so I'm like, that's what's really kind of bringing me to this. But anyway,
and Denzel, I'm really interested to see Denzel.
Paddington in Peru, which is Paddington 3.
I am hyped for that. The Paddington movies have been gold, so yeah.
Joker 2 is this November, October.
Yeah.
Joker. Joker 2. So let's talk about this.
This time there's Harley Quinn.
Lady Gaga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
she's good.
Obviously, the whole thing about Joker Faux Deluxe or Faux Delou or whatever, I can't speak French.
Faux Deluxe.
Folie à deux. Right?
Joker French. Yes.
Yes. Look, obviously, I was not the best. We did our whole hot takes on this. I was not a fan of the first Joker film. Very derivative. But the fact I've always thought was, as soon as that first Joker film made $1 billion, Warner Brothers were like salivating at the thought of doing a sequel. Yeah. And obviously at the time, no one wanted it.
No.
Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix signed on to the Joker, so he didn't have to do comic book movie sequels. And yet he's here.
Yes.
And then but I've always thought, right, a sequel is where you could do something different, right?
Instead of
you've
an
done your
origin
Taxi
story.
Driver kind of comedy thing, right? And you've done your dark thing, so let's do something weird. And of course, there's this talk about, Lady Gaga's here, and it's talk about it being a musical sort of thing.
Okay.
I don't know if I believe those reports in the sense that
Lady
I think there
Gaga's
might be
definitely
one.
There. She's
Lady Gaga's there for a reason,
Yeah. But if it is a musical, I'm actually intrigued again. If it's like full of music numbers, now I'm actually intrigued again. Now I'm interested. Now this could be crazy. This could be weird.
Yeah,
this could be fun.
But is it? Is it going to have one or two music numbers and that's it? And it's just another whatever movie?
Is it going to be like Wonka, where it's the first bit, but then when it actually gets into the action, the story, they ditch it. You know,
Yeah.
is it going to be a Mean Girls where they just don't market it as a musical because musicals don't do well, and then people will see it and go, "Oh fuck!"
Well, we say musicals don't do well. Wonka's made over $500 million.
Yeah, true, but it didn't really market itself as a musical either.
That's true.
True.
Yeah.
True. But this is what makes me so curious about this film. It's not my most anticipated. It's once again one of those things I'm just curious about. Yeah. I will go see it because I want to know what the hell it is.
There is the chance that the first one made so much money that they're just letting them do whatever the fuck with this second one.
Yeah,
and that's a
probably
chance.
It.
The first one didn't really showcase a lot of original thoughts or ideas or themes, but it was pretty. It looked pretty.
It looked good. The
acting was good. So maybe, I don't know.
Also, Todd Phillips is not a writer on this one.
That's good.
Which is good.
That's good.
That is good.
Who are we getting writing?
So that actually one of the writers, Paul Dini, apparently is who's writing the screenplay, wrote for Batman the Animated Series. So that is very interesting.
That's really intriguing. Isn't he the one that wrote in Harley Quinn in the animated series?
Or maybe it's just a characters thing. Maybe he's just getting a character credit.
Yeah, because he's the reason. I believe that he's the one that wrote in. I might be wrong here, but I believe he's the one that wrote in Harley Quinn as a character into the show.
That's true. So, guys, this is fake news. Todd Phillips is the lead writer on this project.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, now I'm
anyway,
less
sorry, Kyle.
Yes.
Nice.
Kyle, let's
Joker 2, yes.
Yeah, so you got Joker 2, you got Beetlejuice 2, the sequel with oh shit, what's her name?
Is Winona Ryder not in it? Or
yes. Who's the girl from Wednesday?
Oh yeah, what's her name?
She was in Scream.
Oh, Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega's in it.
There you go.
Sorry, was in Scream. Should have said. We have an Alien sequel, technically, I think.
Yeah. So,
who's
Alien
Romulus,
let's talk about this briefly.
Yeah.
Julian Alvarez, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Fede Alvarez, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's talk about this, Kyle, because much like the relationship I have with Ridley Scott, I have a sad relationship with the Alien franchise too.
I almost had a sad relationship with Lewis because of the Alien franchise.
Yeah,
that's how deep this goes.
Now, once again, look. Interestingly enough, this is set in between Alien 1 and 2.
Okay.
So it's meant to sort of act as a...
That's perfect, because I still, to this day, haven't seen the second Alien movie, so I could just watch this one first.
Oh my god, what's wrong with you? Right? Like, what is wrong with you?
Alien was really good, man. You know?
Yeah, Alien was fucking great.
I just left it there.
You've not seen Aliens. Ridley Scott has seen this film. Yeah. I don't even know if he's a producer on this project. He's seen this film. And he said, to quote, it's fucking great. Now,
that could mean one of two things. It could mean it's horrible.
Exactly.
It could mean it's great.
Yeah. You know, he's the man who also said Top Gun 2 was meh. Obviously, Fury has much more personal attachment to that because his brother.
I get that,
the first
though.
Top Gun.
Oh, yeah.
So
that tracks.
I am interested. I am very interested. I mean, it's got like a reasonable budget. It was only made for like $97 million. It looks like it's going to be just a throwback to sort of the first Alien, probably just a haunted house in space sort of thing.
So probably more grungy and less high concept than the last two kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and also has David Johnson in it, who was in Rye Lane, and I think he's a terrific actor. I love him.
No.
So I'm looking forward to seeing him as well.
Nice.
Wait,
we'll see, guys.
Whoa. Sorry. I have just saw something. The director was the producer and writer behind the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 film. That was...
Did he direct it?
No, he was producer and writer for it.
And he wrote and writer.
And he wrote this one as well. And he wrote the Alien film. That film was actual dog shit.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
I would have rather watched the dog shit than that Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. That's actually made me quite worried there. I want to quickly just run through.
Why? It's like we're excited for these films, and then we go to the writer credits, and we're like, oh god, why?
I want to just jump on.
There have been like people who wrote terrible movies and then wrote a really good one. That has happened before. I've had several moments where I looked up a writer of a film I love and realized everything else they've done is shit. So, you know,
maybe. I'm gonna just mention two more because Gonzalo mentioned Kung Fu Panda, and I'm gonna mention Inside Out 2 and Lion King Mufasa. Those are also two.
So,
you're not
no. I'm just listing off sequels at this point that we're seeing this year.
Am I the only one who thought Inside Out was just okay?
I think they could do a lot more with Inside Out 2 if they really went for it.
Yeah.
Like, see if they pushed the whole like mental health onto us. Like, I would say if they fully went anxiety, depression, like added in those fucking characters, they're
adding a lot more emotions. I have heard that though. They are adding. Yeah,
Gonzalo, much like you, I've only seen Inside Out once. It was in cinemas.
I cried,
like you, Gonzalo,
but I didn't really.
I wasn't blown away by it. I really wasn't.
Yeah.
But Inside 2, but kind of like Kyle, I just didn't really think the world was that interesting, design-wise, animation-wise. And I do think doing a sequel to it, you can really explore.
Yeah.
It can really level up. You know,
this is
it really
what
has
I'm
the
saying
potential
is
to that. So
you
I really hope so.
You need to fucking
that.
go for it, and it actually.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the thing. Inside Out felt very much like the vanilla base, like.
Well, it had like the vanilla 5 emotions, you know, or whatever.
But they never really built on top too much, and it was like. To me, it felt a lot like the Emoji Movie, and I know that's a really unflattering comparison, but it felt like the whole movie was just us exploring puns, and then it ended.
Yeah.
And and I feel like it could have gone a lot deeper than that. I did like the whole idea of like, you know, the toxic positivity aspect of it. I thought that was really nice, but it felt very flat. It felt very hollow. Like I can only remember I remember the film precisely, but like I can only remember like the introduction being interesting, then a whole lot of nothing, and then you'll learn that being happy all the time isn't good and you should be sad sometimes, and then the movie ends.
Yes.
And there was just a whole lot of nothing there.
Right, Kyle, what is your second pick? Sorry, we went right.
Mufasa.
This is
Mufasa 2, the one where he roars, based on a true story.
Oh, shut up. Right. Do you know what I'm actually quite interested for if it does come out this year? The Ballerina, the John Wick spin-off film.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
The Anna de Armas spin-off film. I liked her in that wee sequence she had in No Time to Die.
Oh, and No Time to Die.
I thought she was brilliant.
She's phenomenal in that sequence. Like, it's so funny because you could write that entire sequence out the plot. Because it doesn't really add
anything to the plot. It doesn't really add anything to the overall plot. But
it's so good that you're like, fine, I don't care.
Literally,
it's there. It's great.
So I'm pretty excited for that if that does take evolution. Because I like the John Wick universe, but I would like to move away from John Wick, let Keanu Reeves rest a little. I do want to see more of the world.
Yeah, that's the thing. They've really created like a really interesting universe there that it's perfectly fine to explore without hitting on John Wick.
The Continental TV show clearly did not hit the mark, so I'm hoping this does. So I'm quite excited for that. That would be my
looking forward to it too.
Okay. Right, what is your main? Oh, that is your second pick.
Yeah,
okay, that's interesting. That's one I'm intrigued by as well. Actually, it's just because it's not got it's not the same team behind the John Wick film. Which just kind of has me a bit hesitant.
No, but that's the thing. Like it gives you it gives you the opportunity of either seeing a brand new talent do a different take on the franchise, or seeing a bunch of people completely squander it. It's like a dangerous, precarious, we'll see kind of thing, and it has a lot of potential. So
Yeah. Well, since you guys pretty much ran through honourable mentions, I'm interested in as well. I only have one more, and that's Love Lies Bleeding.
Yeah.
Which the trailer came out, I think last week actually. Which is it looks like just a revenge story or like a thriller, starring Kristen Stewart, Ed Harris, Dave Franco. It looks very interesting. The reason it looks quite thrilling and exciting is because it's directed by Rose Glass, who did Saint Maud was it 2021 now?
That's a while ago, yeah.
Almost 3 years ago. Yeah, I remember because it came out kind of a
one.
weird time when cinemas were kind of open, kind of not. St. Maud, which is an absolutely phenomenal British indie film, British horror film, which is really terrifying, really disturbing, all about isolation and mental health and
very
sort of
British
warped
topics.
Interpretation of faith. It's really bleak, but it's absolutely brilliant. It's a really, really great film. That already makes Love Lies Bleeding up there for me. Also, just looks really well shot, really interesting, really violent, really intense. So I'm interested in that. But of course, my second pick, or even my number one pick, because I'm so excited for this, and that has to go to Robert Eggers' Nosferatu remake, because look. For me, Robert Eggers, man, like he is he's 3 for 3.
Yeah.
I love all his films. The Lighthouse to me is still just an absolute masterpiece. The Northman was completely
completely in the
slept
shadow.
on.
Yeah.
I think that is just a brilliantly grim, violent, just bizarre, great fable. Absolutely loved The Northman as well.
Proper Beowulf stuff.
Sort of retelling of Hamlet and stuff like that. And Nicole Kidman just going absolutely fucking crazy in the final act of that film. Love seeing it. But yeah, I mean, written and directed by Robert Eggers. I mean, this cast, you've got Aaron Taylor-Johnson, you've got Emma Corrin, you've got the greatest actor on earth, Willem Dafoe, and Nicholas Hoult as well. And Bill Skarsgård playing Count Orlok or Nosferatu. I mean, the other versions of Nosferatu that have come out before, I mean, this is big shoes to fill.
That's the thing. I haven't seen any Nosferatu except for the OG, like the 19th.
The OG, the 1920s one.
So
that's the only one I've seen. Yeah.
No, I mean we talked about this when we did our vampires episode with Fallow, but the original Nosferatu, like it's a silent film, right? But even if you're obviously silent, no one watches silent films anymore, right? But even if you're sort of against or like I wouldn't be interested in that, the original Nosferatu is so entertaining. Weirdly enough, it's creepy. It's got a great atmosphere.
It's all in
just
the
zips
fucking
along.
scenery and the camera shots and the shadows and stuff. Like even if it doesn't get nowhere near as scary as some modern movies, but it's still so visually interesting. Is what gets me. You know.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many brilliant shots in it,
and like
shadows.
Every 5 minutes you see a shot and you're like, so that's the first time they did that. And I feel like if you like film at all, that's just like that's just a treat. That's just a really fucking good treat. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like it was dates back to sort of just like, I mean, it's the original sort of adaptation of Dracula because they didn't have the rights at the time, which I always found so interesting, but it's basically Dracula.
It's
Nosferatu,
technically the first version of like a direct-to-DVD bootleg movie kind of thing, you know? It's like Dracula just dropped, here's Nosferatu.
I kind of like how we're getting a Nosferatu film like every 50 years now, because 1922 is when the first one came out, and then the 70s is when Werner Herzog's remake came out, and now boom, here we are another 50 years later, we're getting a Robert Eggers one, and there couldn't be a better match really of a director working today that fits this so well.
How's the 70s version?
It's great. Werner Herzog's version is
I
really
have
good.
I have a weird thing against him because he really hates storyboarding, and as someone who does storyboarding, I'm not. It's like fuck you, you know. But like, I haven't actually seen it. Is it like a good adaptation? Is it like what would you say about it? 70s version.
I like Werner Herzog as a director in itself. I just think the production design, the costume design, it feels very 70s, but it feels like a proper like gothic 70s horror film. And what's the actor? Klaus Kinski, who him and Werner Herzog had a really
they've done a bunch
toxic, loving relationship, actor-director relationship. I mean, he just absolutely looks the part. It's fantastic. So that is another. Great
you would say
that
that's the one to beat right now.
I mean, they're both great. They're both great in different ways. I think they're both just great films. So yeah, Robert Eggers does absolutely have his work cut for him. But I have absolute faith that he's going to make a modern gothic.
We've seen The Lighthouse.
There's no reason to doubt the guy. You know, there's absolutely no reason to doubt the guy. But before we kind of sign off here, I'm going to ask you guys, one question, right? We've talked about the films we are looking forward to.
Yes.
And I will just say Nosferatu is expected in Christmas Day in
wow.
2024. I don't think it will be Christmas.
Yeah.
It's very weird timing to release a film like that. And I will ask you guys just this one question, right? Because we did our favourites. Nosferatu is not going to be a big box office darling, right?
Sure.
But what do you guys think will be the biggest hit
Ooh.
of 2024?
Ooh. That's a good question, actually. I think Dune might be a contender there, honestly.
Calm down.
Interesting.
Calm down.
Because honestly, since the first one's come out, I've heard people talk about wanting to watch the second one who I never imagined being even interested in this movie. Like,
and we've had years and people, so many people more.
And now that it's out on
pandemic
streaming services, a lot of people have actually watched it and are interested in it and stuff. And given the cast, like they are basically teen idols and stuff, like a lot of younger audiences are also like wanting to see. I don't know. I think it might do better than the last one, and I might be completely wrong.
I think it's gonna make so much more money.
Yeah,
than the first one because, look, we aren't in a pandemic, but that one made $400 million.
True that.
So.
But yeah.
I think it will make like $700 million. I don't know if it'll be the biggest film of the year.
I don't know if it'll be the biggest one.
Interesting to go for that.
Deadpool 3 might, though. Might take it.
Yeah. Is that Kyle? Is that one you'd go for?
No.
Deadpool 3?
No, I'm going to be smart. And I'm going to say Despicable Me 4 because those movies make money.
Oh shit, I forgot that was coming up. Yeah.
it was
that
or Garfield, just of the success of the Mario film last year, but Despicable Me is not so much.
It's Garfield.
They've got the wee yellow fuckers, and
yeah.
You know, that's gonna make $1 billion easy, and
I like it.
You're right.
Phallus just completely giving up on his
career.
He's like, yep, I'm not gonna die in this one.
I forgot it was
so many
coming
people are gonna
out.
see that.
I have a grudge against Illumination. They have great animation and the most awful and offensively awful writing ever. I just
Cal, I would have said, to be fair,
I'm sorry.
Even though the MCU has, is in box office decline, if Deadpool and Wolverine, or Deadpool 3 even, was PG-13, I might edge towards that. But the fact that it is also going to be R-rated does mean that.
See, I would have said,
will see it.
I would have given Deadpool 3 the benefit if you didn't have, one, if it was a PG-13, but if you also didn't have this Sony-verse films, because people don't understand the difference.
Yeah.
No, but as in, like,
if people might not think it's an MCU thing, and some people only go watch
like,
MCU stuff. That's
if
true.
it was the only MCU film, then yes, and it is the only MCU film technically this year because Thunderbolts and Captain America 4 have been delayed.
Oh no.
What a shame. Anyway,
not the screamy guy.
But because there's these other films, I think it's going to kind of confuse the general public, and they'll be like, I don't know. Like, I'd rather go see a thing with tiger blood. I don't know, but it's the kind of thing where
I don't know. I think
I want to ask
the Deadpool
the marketing's
name
going to be a
makes
big
so much money.
It's going to make a huge push. I'll give you that.
It's going to be so much money.
I do want to ask, because like the whole PG-13 rating and all that kind of stuff, we don't really have that here. Like, you have recommendations, but like, is it like kids are not allowed, flat out not allowed to go see it?
Well, see, the states have an interesting thing, because in the UK, if a film is rated 15 and you're below 15, you cannot see the film, right?
Okay.
And same with 18. If you're below 18, you simply cannot see the film. Doesn't matter who you're with. To be fair, in the states, if your parents are with you and you're in a certain age range. Between like under 17 but over I don't know what age is, and your parents are with you, you can go see the film. But and then there's NC-17, which is the equivalent to an 18 here. But yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't understand why they have those that leniency. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense to me. But yeah, R-rated films just simply don't make the same amount of money as
no, obviously.
But like PG-13.
Yeah, but like it's I don't see the thing, because like I know like horror films are a big like security in the box office. They never really exceed a lot, but they're like a safe bet because you always have the horror audience. And
yeah, but even it's as simple as families in America. As soon as the parents see that R-rated stuff going on, they're just going to go, nope, we're not taking the kids to see that, obviously. So it works like that. It's just a straight veto as soon as you see the rating system.
I don't think my parents have ever checked out what the rating of the movie was before going to see it. I think we just watch the trailer and then we just go, But yeah.
Yeah, fair. I actually want to leave you with something, right? Because I was interested to see this Furiosa budget.
Yeah.
Because I thought, Warner Brothers might have given George Miller
they
a little less.
Yeah.
The budget of this film is $230 million.
Oh my god.
So Furiosa is not making a profit.
It's really not. It's really not.
But why the hell would you greenlight that?
But that makes me happy though, because I was worried that they were going to have to cut back on the stunts and the practical explosions and all the things that I think made the first movie so great.
Mad Max Fury Road cost $150 million.
Yeah, no, they're good.
I don't know why they gave him 80 million. I don't know why they gave him 80 million more.
I have no idea.
To make a prequel.
I have no idea.
Very bizarre.
Maybe,
off a first film.
Maybe for the Oscar cred, Warner Bros. Is kind of like, but they did have Barbie this year. It's like, I think they're
here's more money.
Yeah, maybe they're like, oh, we made money with Barbie. Let's spend it on Furiosa. I don't know.
Set a record of the most expensive film ever shot in Australia. So there you go.
Actually, do you think it has to do with the whole revelation that there's a market for like actual female-led big budget movies? And they're like, actually, let's put money into it because it's a female-led big budget movie. People might actually be interested. Even though I don't think it's exactly a female perspective, so I don't know if it's going to be, but
Yeah,
executives are dumb. Let's be honest.
We just had the Marvels, which didn't do well, so
true,
I don't think it's that. Anyway, let's sign off here. Yes. So thank you, Gonzalo, for joining me.
Pleasure to ramble as always.
Okay, and thank you, Kyle, as well.
Welcome. I'm now less excited for some of these films after we get the writers.
After we did a little bit of digging.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
After we did a little bit of digging.
I'm still hopeful about Spider-Verse and Knives Out.
Maybe. And maybe Mickey 17, which apparently they might release at Cannes this year. But anyway, on next week's episode, we will be talking about the Oscar nominations. Of course, they are due next Tuesday. So, we'll be going over our biggest predictions, our biggest snubs, our biggest surprises, potentially. And maybe you'll see a very angry me on the show.
Yes, most likely. Lewis is going to get mad.
On the
Lewis is going to get mad about one of the movies that got snubbed, like 100%.
No, he's gonna get mad probably about you not watching Oppenheimer.
Oh, that too. I mean, that too.
Yeah. You now do have to watch that this weekend. You're going to see it. You're going to see his name a lot next week.
But what if
May December is snubbed, then Lewis will cause havoc.
Okay.
That's what I'm seeing.
Maybe. No promises. I'll try.
But yes, that will be on next week's show. But look, we just gave our opinions on our most anticipated films of 2024. But at the end of the day, those were our unwanted opinions. Thank you very much.